Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Definite, and I want to tell you about this cool app I just found out about. It's called Anchor. It's a real cool app, man. I think you guys will really feel it. It's easy, it's fun, it's exciting, uh, it's free. That's the best part, and you can make money off it, and you can do it from the comfort of your own home, and it will help you distribute to different platforms where everybody can hear your podcast. So if you ever dreamed about making a podcast, download the app today, Anchor. Hey, good morning. What's going on? This is Straight Talk with your man, Definite. And the time check is 7:35 a.m. and it's currently 50 degrees on this Friday, May 1st. You know what I'm saying? So May is here, baby. And this is the beginning of the Gemini's season. It's not yet, but right now it's Taurus season. But Gemini season should start May 21st. And my birthday is the next one after that, May 22nd. So, this is definitely my time of the year, no doubt. But I thank everybody for tuning in. I appreciate it, man. This podcast is going to be about my mother. For those that listen to this podcast frequently, religious listeners, you probably hear me talk about my mother a lot. So I finally figured, I should do a whole podcast just about her, because she definitely was a big part of who I am. You know what I mean? And she gave me life, man, and she gave me so much more than that. You know what I'm saying? So sit back, relax, and I'll give you a little, background on my mother. Okay. My mother, God rest her soul, she's no longer here, was born July 5th, 1937 in Elizabeth, New Jersey. Her mother was 16 when she had my mother, so they pretty much were like sisters, they were like 16 years apart, you know what I mean? So they kind of grew up together. And when my grandmother, her mother, got sick, she took care of her. She took care of her, man, and cooking for her, cleaning, whatever she could do, doctor's appointments and all that. Because my grandmother had got very sick toward the end of her life, and she was dealing with dementia, and she had diabetes and a whole lot of different health issues. So yeah, my mom took care of her, and when my grandmother passed away, it hurt my mother a great deal. Oh yeah. I still remember at my grandmother's funeral the pain and agony you heard in my mother's cries as she cried, while people were talking and praising my grandmother. You just heard my mother crying, and the pain and agony and her cries, it just broke my heart. It made me cry even more, because I knew she lost her best friend. You know what I'm saying? Her and her mother were extremely close, man. They were like sisters. They basically grew up together, like I said, so it was hard for her. Right after my grandmother passed away, then we sold the house that we was all living in, my grandmother's house, that her and her husband had, lived there over 35 years, so it was hard, but, we had to move on now, and me and my mother, we got a, place in Hillside, and, I was happy, I was excited, man, because, it was new beginnings for me. I was a young dude, when this was all going down. You know what I'm saying? I was like my late 20s, early 30s. I was a mama's boy. I ain't gonna front. My mom, man, that was my homie, man. So, me and her got a little spot in the hillside. Everything was cool, man. You know what I'm saying? It was a beautiful house, man. And the house had a back patio, which I always used to love, man. Always wanted a house with a back patio. And it had a back patio. So in the summertime, I'd be out there. I had my little drink. You know what I'm saying? And back then, cordless phones and shit. You know what I mean? I'd be on the phone talking to a breezy. You know what I mean? You couldn't tell me nothing. Word up. But in the beginning there, everything was cool, man. We was enjoying the new house and everything. And, I had got me a little job. And I was working downtown North. And, she had just recently was retired. You know what I mean? So she had a lot of time on her hands. So, she was basically like, getting the house, more homely, because we had just moved in. So, she was enjoying that, man. I guess getting used to being retired. She's been working ever since she was 16. So it was different for her, And in fact, she tried it for like about 2-3 months. She was retired, and then she couldn't take it anymore, and she ended up getting a little part-time job doing phone surveys, and she worked there, and up until she got sick. Now, how this happened, she was complaining for like a week or so that she had a little pain in her back, her lower back. Me, I didn't take it seriously because, she was like 65 or 66 at the time. And I think 66. She died at 67. It wasn't long after she got diagnosed. But, yeah, she was complaining that she had pain in her back. So, I'm thinking, well, you're up there in age and you've been working all your life, probably nothing. I wouldn't worry about it. But one day she said, okay, she's going to go to the hospital and get it checked out. I said, okay. I said, well, let me know how you made out, man. I'm like, I'm sure it's nothing. So, I went out that day. I went out and about with my girlfriend at the time. When me and her went to run some errands and stuff. And, I had got back around 6 or 7 that evening, and I noticed that she hadn't gotten back yet. I'm like, that's, when is everything okay? You know what I mean? I figured, she probably, might have, after the doctor's appointment, went to the store and picked up a couple things or whatever. And then like an hour later, I get a phone call and it's her. And that's when she tells me, like, the hospital's going to keep her overnight. I said, for what? And she was like, well, they ran some tests and they're not sure yet, but they think I might have some cancerous cells. I said, oh, man. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh, man, don't tell me that, yo. She's like, don't go there. Don't go there. We don't know yet. But we'll know tomorrow. I said, all right, what time tomorrow? She was like, about 3:30. I said, all right, I'm gonna call you back tomorrow at 3:30, or you call me and we'll take it from there. So I hung up, man. I cried, man, because, I pretty much knew. I was hoping that it wasn't that, but, I don't know. I had a feeling it probably was going to be that. And the next day, 3:30, I called her. No, she called me. And I was like, hey, what's up? So what they say? And she was like, yeah, it's cancerous. I said, oh, man. So she's like, then, the next step, we gotta, start radiation and all this and that. I said, oh, man. But my girlfriend at the time, she was there with me when I was on the phone. So she was like, well, nowadays they got, a lot more advanced medication.